This isn't the mine we're going to, but I had to stop here because there's this impressive geared friction hoist right here that I'm actually amazed is still out here, considering the weather where we are. The mine we're going to is across the valley over there, but like I said, when I saw this I had to stop. The hoist that this served is right up there. Excuse me, what I meant to say was the shaft that this hoist served was right up there, and unfortunately it's caved, but fortunately this remains, and this is very, very cool. We're talking late 1800s here, maybe 1880s, and so I'm just stunned at the condition this is in, and I mean that in a positive way. It's actually it held some pretty substantial weight. That's a big one. And then some writing over here. It looks like, I'm reading this sideways, it looks like Fraser and Chalmers, Chicago. And that's upside down, I can't tell what that says. It is a hike to get to this mine, I'll tell you what. The road keeps going that way. And now the road looks fine here, but it was bad farther back, so we had to hike it, which is frustrating because it looks so nice here. Man, we were up a long way. Long mine exploring day, and then we got to throw this on the end of it. Still hiking to the mine. I had to stop and show you the scenery just because it is beautiful, and we've worked hard for it. But a beautiful valley out there. Alright, there's looking back up where we just came down, and it's an interesting sight. We got the vein right there, as you can see, and it runs back. I guess I would call this a little mini drift. It runs back and stops there. The good stuff, let's see, there's more the vein right here. They were falling down, obviously, on the right. Good stuff is down here. You can tell the site is caved. Saw ground fall right here, but there's a drift running off the left there. The shaft keeps dropping down right there. I'll take a closer look in a minute. And then something running off to the right there as well. So I'll go down and rejoin you down there. Alright, so I lied. I'm picking up halfway down because just behind me there's this really cool block and tackle right there that fell down the shaft. I thought that was really cool. Right there. And then it looked like there might be another drift level running off over there. Is that something back there? Or? It's just a little stope. Okay, it's a little stope they cleared out. So now I will drop down as originally promised. Oh, keep them salivating. Sign of a healthy mind. Good amount of water coming down right there. The shaft is black, it keeps dropping down. So you're probably dropping a glow stick down there. And yeah, you can see how much ground fall there is here. It's a little disconcerting. You can see pipes right there running off in this drift. And also see the rails right there that I've used as the skids to haul the skip car. And can't tell you on that. I gotta get down there. Okay, that keeps running off that way. I can't tell how far it goes. There's a shaft right there, and another view of those rails drop down that run the skip on. And then hard to look down that one from here. I'll cross over to the side so you can see that one. Okay, that's the drift I was checking out before, and I have crossed over, and here's looking down. The drift went to the other side, and you can see it's completely caved right there. So that's it for this side. But while I was over there in that area, the Jakes spotted what could be an ore cart right here, given its position relative to the drift. It's fairly well buried under a bunch of rubble, but could be an ore cart. Hard to tell. I don't feel like digging it out right now.
Just about to start heading down the drift here. I wanted to show you the rail in front of me before I made the water any muddier, because that's what I do to the water, walking through it. There's a little pocket on my right here. It just stops right there if you can't tell. You can see the quartz vein on the right there. And running ahead all the way through there. That's all quartz. And on my left here, you can see there's a raise running up. Way up there. Actually, I did not expect that. But this is all quartz here on the sides. And here, so they're picking away at that, obviously. Keeps running ahead. Again, you see the rails, the water in front of me. All quartz through there. And also on the left. I can't remember if I already pointed that out or not, but here's a look of it again. You see the quartz and the iron together, which is a very good indicator for gold. It's like another ray. This is a stope actually here. Looking up in the stope there. Big timber support right there. That's only about 3.5 feet high. That space declares another stole or timber back there, if you can see it where I'm shaking the light. But that's only about 3.5 feet high, so that would not have been fun working in there. I bet those miners came home with some sore backs. I don't know if I mentioned already, it was really low in here. Okay, chase that down again there too. I can't see the bottom of that, but I don't think it goes very far. Oh man, they really cleared out a lot of material here. This is the other side of that one we just looked up. Remember I said there was a timber support off to the right? That's it right there. And that extends over there and maybe keeps going a little way, but it's caved. It goes up there. We got a couple timber supports here. And here, man, sorry, this is really hard to shoot this because I'm bent over so low. Okay, stand up again. I cannot believe how much they stoped this out. It's all just one extended stope along here above me. Just looking up there. These are all, again, only 3 feet. This one's even shorter, but 3 feet on average, I would estimate. Some ventilation pipe here in front of me. And keeps bending around. Looks like I got a fault on my right. See that really sharp angle there? That's indicative of a fault. When it's flat and smooth on one side. And then what happens is that quartz in its molten form is squeezed out between, actually many minerals are squeezed out between the faults, the cracks created by the faults, and they create deposits like this. And then millions and millions of years later, somebody like me comes on and says, oh, look at the contact zone there. So that's what you're seeing. So the miners, they look for these faults because it's heavy in quartz or other good minerals. Lots of mineral goodness. Like, look at that right there. That looks like a prime specimen. Rays right here. That one runs up and stops right there. Looks like they stashed some ventilation pipe in there. But they just cut straight down the center of this vein because you see it's dipping down here, follows that fault on the top, and it gets picked up again right there. So they just cut straight down the middle of it. Running ahead. I have to ditch my backpack because it keeps snagging on stuff. It's just too low in here, so I'll pick up right here. Ditch the backpack. I'm about 2 feet ahead, so you're not missing anything. Some orangey water. There's of course another stope right here overhead. It runs up there. Lots of good quartz on the side here. And we're going to continue straight down the drift here. What do you know? Another raise or a stope. Stope. This one's higher. This one's maybe 4 feet high from the look of it. Ooh, I hope some water doesn't drip in the microphone. That'll ruin a video if that happens. The audio just gets wrecked. You can see why they're running up though. Look at all this quartz here. They're just gonna follow that right up. And it must have assayed out well for them to be stoking out so much. This is kind of a cool perspective. See the triangular or pyramid shaped structure of the drift carrying off as far as I can see. That's created by the fault. I like it. Little natural pocket right there with a bunch of flowstone. Cool, cool. Some quartz action on the right still. That vein on the right is very consistent. Sometimes they fold back on themselves, weave around, whatever. But that one's being very consistent. Still keeps running that way as far as I can see. There's a larger stope here that runs up. And it looks like it stops up there. That's where the vein is, up there. That white line right there. That's as far as that goes. Might have had the remains of an ore chute here, given all this jumble of wood. Kind of hard to tell at this point. So that's a possibility. Still keeps going. Looks like somebody was picking away at that more recently. Yeah, it keeps going. And of course, oh, this is a much larger stope here. You got an airline running up there. Up there, it's still only 3-ish feet, and it looks like it might actually have caved up there. It's not looking very clean up there at all. That was a big one though. And then this section here is pretty large. That's maybe 4.5 feet in this inner section, or closer section, I should say. Stepped in a deep spot. Nice looking quartz here on the left. Yeah, this zone is really mineralized. So it looks like we finally lost the vein here. And it looks like it carried over here. So if you'll notice, the adit starts going a bit to the left as well. So that may be why they shifted the adit over. Yeah, because look how much quartz is here. Good stuff. Well, maybe never mind, because look at that. Somebody said the veins sort of bob and weave around, so you'll pick it up, lose it for a bit, pick it up again. This is just thick with quartz in here. That's all quartz covered in dust. Made a chamber up there. That's the end of it right there. See, it took a lot of material out of here. And no surprise either. They had a ramp or an ore chute or something here to dump it down to the drift level where I'm standing so I could cart it out. But yeah, look at the size of that vein up there. That's pretty thick. Yeah, all quartz through here. Ventilation pipe on the ground. right. Let's see. 5 something. So I picked out a little pocket here, but more significantly, bigger pocket here. That's the extent of it. Seems like they took out more closer to the entrance. Right, not closer to the entrance, closer to where the drift hits the shaft. Seems like there are fewer stopes and winzes and such back here. Still a fair amount of quartz, so maybe it didn't assay out as well back here. Who knows? Look at that flowstone. You got the popcorn look right there. And this morphs into the banana pudding look here. All down there. Little pocket we took out here. Cool stuff. This to me is interesting for the geology rather than the mining history in this section. And I know some of you are into the geology as well, so this is for you. I haven't walked through this yet and disturbed it, so look at the patterns created by the slow drip of mineral-rich water. I gotta keep moving up when we get drip on. The last thing I want is water in the microphone. Big drill mark right there. And we're still going. Nice. The type of rock has changed in here, if you've noticed. It's a good echo. But I'm not seeing as much quartz. That's mineralized. Those are mineralized deposits from the water. That's not quartz. An old jug of water. Actually, I don't know how old that is, but that's not super old. Jug of water. The drift is nice and spacious now, which I'm grateful for. Old dynamite box right there. That's too far gone to read a label or anything. Wow, really opened up now. That's a good 15 feet overhead along here. Not complaining about that. Actually, looks like it opened up because of ground fall. I mean, it was still fairly open, but that last bit looks like it was opened up by ground fall. So that's a fragile rock right there. I'm panning on. Okay. Oh. In a deep section, there's some quartz again. Remember what I said about the vein disappearing and reappearing and bending around a lot? The deposit there. It's hard for the miners to follow it sometimes. So some of these drifts just really meander around. They do have some cool deposits in here. Getting a bit messier up there. Look at this line right here. It's mineral deposit. Those are from little mineral droplets of water running down from up there. And then you've got that hornet's nest looking thing right there. That is crazy. Or pineapple, whatever. Get the idea. And then you get a completely different look with these minerals. That's just pitch black. A lot of variation, interesting things. I thought that was ground fall. Looks like somebody stacked that there. This slabbed off on the side here. Still looks fairly solid though. Hopefully those aren't my famous last words. slugs right there. More minerals. We need mineral deposits, some quartz. Some over here now too. Hear a lot of water up ahead. Splashing down from somewhere. Good stuff. Look at these patterns in the mud. Almost like veins. I mean veins in a living creature. I don't mean ore veins. It's pretty wild. Okay, the splashing water is coming from up here. This is interesting. This crack in the rock here looks like it's vomiting out all this orange mud here. See that mean more if I step back. See all that? That's all coming out of that crack right there. So interesting, whatever that ties into. Fountain right here looks like a piece of modern art. This is what I was hearing before. Coming off of that. Another dynamite box right there. More mineral deposits. And this drift just keeps running back. It means something right there. It looks like a piece of ventilation pipe that was ripped apart. Alright. First track I've seen in a while. Thinking about walking on it in the mud, but I haven't seen it. Okay. Does it face out? What's going on up here? And it looks good. It keeps going. More orange stuff. Hear a lot of water drooping up ahead too. Of course, the way things echo inside here, a small amount of water can make a lot of noise. All right, now that's starting to look messier. Now, if you notice, the rock back here got a lot darker too. Look at that. The life that you see in mines is really interesting. Life is very tenacious. Yeah, seeing places like this is pretty wild. It runs all through here. Takes its nourishment straight from the mine. It's doing a different type of mining. I think that is the face, actually. I'll go back to make sure, of course, but I think that might be the face for this drift. Oh, tight squeeze in here. You see all the stuff that's come down. Oh, this is all ground fault too. This isn't stoped. Getting the camera up there. Yeah, see? This all came down from there. A tight squeeze in here. And then we, again, just face out there. And that's the face of this drift. Cool stuff. This was a fun one. I know it's not a mine, but I thought this was pretty cool and worth sharing. What happened is an avalanche came down here in the winter, snow avalanche, and knocked a bunch of trees down, as you can see, and then spread a thick layer of snow over the creek. The creek pushed through the snow, turned to ice, and so now we have an ice tunnel here. I'll show you a closer look. So here's a closer look. The light's terrible, but you can see the water coming in here. And then check this out. That's pretty cool, huh? Good, I don't know if you can tell, but it goes and bends around there and then straightens out. Anyway, not mine, but I thought it was pretty cool.